Welcome back to another Millennial in Debt Money Chat. This is the first video that I am recording in the brand new year, the brand new decade. I haven't filmed in a while. It seems like almost foreign to me, which is weird because it's like wasn't that long ago. But let's jump right into it. If you are not subscribed, if you are new here, welcome. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you get that ding when I upload pretty much every week, but gets a little rocky. Alright, so I'm going to put on my Thinking Smart People glasses because today we are talking how to make money as a teenager. This is specifically for my students who, a few of them have asked me, how can they get in on the side hustle money? So these will be for people age range 13 through 19 essentially, mostly like 14 and up, but there's a little something for everyone to make some money. So shout out to my students. Definitely not shouting out any names, so don't even think about that. But I know they're watching, although I tell them not to. So let's get right into it, right? So the first side hustle that is really good for teenagers is selling notes, specifically if you're in the college range, because some people don't take really good notes. Some people don't know how to study. So if you know that you take really, really, really good notes, you can turn a profit, especially during midterm and final time. I mean, high school students could essentially do this. I don't really know how many notes students in high school are taking, and things are becoming a lot more digital now. But on a college level, if you know you take really good notes, or if you want to get into taking really good notes so you can turn a profit, you definitely seek out people who are taking like really difficult, like maybe science courses, psychology courses, sociology courses that have a lot of note taking involved, and make that coin that way because people want it. Another way or another side hustle for students or teenagers to make money is to sell a product. Now I'm going to do a huge caveat that you need to sell legal products, so nothing illegal. And you also want to make sure you're not breaking any solicitation laws, especially on school property, because every school, every district, every county, state, whatever is different. But I do know that two of my students, well, one of them were my students last year, they had this like lip gloss conglomerate on campus, and we're selling out, and we're selling like all these products that people really liked and needed. And that's a really smart way to make some extra money. And they were making the lip glosses like in their home or in their kitchen, and it's really cool to kind of be an entrepreneur as a teenager. I wish I would have been that hustle like centered at that age, but definitely sell a product, whether it's t-shirts, sunglasses, as long as you are legally obtaining these products or creating them and legally selling them. It is a very smart way to make some extra money. Another way along the selling route, I know especially for college, so this is more based towards people on campus, food. Don't poison people. And again, you have to look into the legality of actually selling food on campus, but you're providing something people need. Home cooked meals. I cannot tell you how many times I was starving because all the campus food was either closed or I didn't want any like sloppy joes or Philly cheesesteaks. I was eating Philly cheesesteaks almost every single day, which is why I was like 30 pounds heavier in my college times. Home cooked meals, people love them, they want them, they yearn for them, especially if they live really, really far away from their homes. And if you can cook, and if you can cook well, why not capitalize on people's need to eat like nostalgic home cooked food? Another really great smart hustle that can really happen at any age range is photography. Now, photography is no super simple, easy thing, but if it's something you're already interested in, something you're already good at, you can do one of two things. You can either take pictures for people and charge them like an introductory fee, since you are essentially a novice at this point. Taking headshots for people, because I know I teach in an art school, and so they're doing like portfolios and headshots and things like that. And so a lot of my students are really good at photography, so them taking pictures of other people and charging $10, $15 a shot or $10, $15 a print in order to help them with like college applications or things like that, I think it's pretty genius. As you get to a college level, you could do photo shoots for people. You can do all sorts of things. People are always looking for a photographer, and if you have the skill or if you have the equipment or if you're willing to learn and teach yourself how to do a really good job, photography can make you tons and tons and tons of money if you do it well and build up a really good clientele that respects you and that you like have a very trusting relationship back and forth. I think we're at 4. The fourth side hustle that teenagers could really do well in, especially Gen Z, especially because like y'all are like masters at technology now. And my brother did a little bit of this. He's like the tail end of the millennial generation. So sometimes I call him millennial, sometimes I call him Gen Z. But if you are into graphic design or web design, you can do a couple of things. You can build websites for people. You have no idea how often people are looking, even if you use like Wix or WordPress. If you do a basic website, people are willing to pay because 1, they don't want to learn how to do it themselves, 2, they don't have the time, and 3, they just want it done. Because I know I've paid people money to do things that if I took some time I could learn or I could do it myself, and I just didn't want to. So people will pay you to do things they don't want to do. Along the lines of graphic design as well, if you're in college, a graphic design major, if you're in high school, really good at Photoshop and things like that, you can, besides building people's websites, you can do things like flyers. You could do things for YouTubers who want their headers or thumbnails or things on Instagram, making things really aesthetically pleasing. And you can sell all of these things, these skills, on Fiverr, which I talk about heavily all the time. I was a virtual assistant on Fiverr in my earlier 20s, and I was making $300 to $400 a month extra doing things like minimal web design or graphic design, because I am no way, shape, or form a master at Photoshop, but I know a lot of the skills and basics. My brother, he's really good at making flyers. So people are always looking for party flyers or different things like to promote products, to promote activities, to promote events. So he learned, and he's like really skilled at it. Shout out to DJ Exotic, that's my brother. If you want to follow him or get his services, you can follow below. He does a really great job at doing graphic design for people and talking to them what they want and creating like flyers. So if that's something you're good at or something you're interested in, it's definitely worth looking into. And again, you can find clients to work with on Fiverr, or you can just offer your services on campus, whether it's in high school or whether you are in college. Another really interesting side hustle that I've never done and I've never looked into, because there's just things I know my limits, and that is repairing phones. Now YouTube, I don't know why I don't have a degree in YouTube, because YouTube has taught me a million things. Between YouTube and Google, I'm just like way smarter than I ever would have been in school. So if you don't know how to repair phones, or if it's something you're interested in, or if it's something you know how to do and never really thought of spinning into a side hustle, you can learn on YouTube how to fix phones, iPhones, Androids, and you can offer that service at a slightly lower price than the stores in different places are offering. I know you can get a lot of the pieces and parts on Amazon, order them on Prime, or you have your client order them themselves and then you just charge them for the labor to fix the product, fix the phone. But even if it's not a phone, even if it's like other tech, iPads, MacBooks, I don't know how good you can get at fixing those things, but there is a market and there are customers who want their things fixed, who don't want to spend $500 at Apple or whatever other store they go to. So that is definitely something that teenagers can do, especially because they're so good with tech and all the new things that are coming out. They're up on it. I'm not as up on it as I used to be. I'm so old. Oh my God. But that is an awesome side hustle that teenagers definitely should look into to capitalize on. I think we're at 6, 5, I'm not even going to count. When I edit, we'll see. And perfect segue. Another really great thing that works really well for teenagers now, especially because again, tech, learning into all this cool stuff, and that is editing video, specifically YouTube videos for YouTubers who just don't have the time or don't want to, because a lot of the times I'll film 7, 8 different videos and just never get around to editing them because I hate editing. And a lot of bigger YouTubers do not edit themselves because it just takes a lot of time and they'd rather create the content and do other things rather than do the tedious editing part. So editing, just like with photography, it's not something that you can Google and learn in one night. It is something you will have to put a little bit of effort into learning and doing well, because you don't want to do a bad job essentially and lose your clientele. So once you learn to edit, or if you're really good at editing, using iMovie, Final Cut, Adobe Premiere, all 3, definitely reach out again on Fiverr. Sometimes Upwork is looking for editing, but Upwork is usually more for like writing pieces. But you can definitely go and sell, and I think Fiverr you have to be 18 or over. But even if you just want to do it like building a clientele face to face, because you know you can talk to people, guys. I tell you all the time, talk to people in person. That is definitely a business and route that you should go and take, because editors get paid buku bucks, and no one really ever wants to edit their own videos. So please edit my videos for me. Another method for teenagers to make money, it's not going to make money as quickly as some of the other suggestions, but it is something that's been going on since I can remember, and that is recycling. And it doesn't have to be something that you go outside and like steal cans from other people's homes and things like that. Nothing wrong with that. It's kind of like something sometimes scares me. But you could just have like a separate garbage bin in your home where you put all your cans and bottles and things like that and let it save up and rack up, and that could be like your money to buy food for the week, or it could be your money to buy, like, I don't know, milk. What do y'all buy, right? So it's not going to make you tons and tons and tons of money, but I do know people who get an extra $10-20 a week from recycling large amounts of cans and bottles that they have just lying around their house, or they let pile up after 2-3 weeks and they just go and turn in the bottles. So that's something you want to think about, just to have a little spare walking around change. You never know when things come up where you'll need to spend $5 here, $10 here, and that's really how adulting goes, where I'm like, okay, today I have nothing to spend money on, and I'll end up spending like $30 on random life things. So recycling for a little bit of extra money, even though it's not going to be quick money, even though it's not going to be loads of money, it will bring a little bit of extra coin into your pocket. The last two side hustles for teenagers are a little more intensive with their time, or your time, I should say, and that would be starting a YouTube channel. So I've spoken to a bunch of my students who follow me or who watch my YouTube channel, and they ask me, well, how do they get into making a YouTube, or how do they create a YouTube channel? And it's really almost as simple as just turning on a camera and filming something you're good at, something you're interested in, vlogging an experience that you have that makes you unique, or vlogging an experience you have that you think is really different that people might be interested in. There are YouTube channels on YouTube that are massive and incorporate like things I don't even understand why people are interested in, like watching people play video games, or watching people play with toys, or watching people unbox things. It's like there's a market and a niche for everyone. So especially like I guess I'm partial. I work in a really cool school. The kids are super artsy and really smart and just like so creative. So if you have something that's really interesting that you think you do, flip open your iPhone. Oh, Melissa, what are you, 70? Right? Open your iPhone, start filming, get a DSLR camera, get a point and shoot camera, and just document what's going on. There's so many times where I walk around and just film what I see and create B-roll for future content, or just record things, and just it inspires me to create something else later on. So if you want to start a YouTube channel, I suggest you do, because it is a really great way to make money and also connect with people and show your creative way. I will say that you won't get monetized on YouTube unless you have 1,000 subscribers and I think it's 4,000 hours of watch time. So that can be a little daunting and difficult to get at first, but keep creating, keep making things people want to see, and you will reach that threshold sooner than you think. And start making some money off of your creativity and your just like existence. And the last suggestion, which I haven't gone down that route because I just find my voice to be annoying, podcasts. So podcasts have popped up all over the world. Everybody and their mama has a podcast, but I've learned from the great Rihanna that just because you think a market is saturated does not mean that you cannot enter that market and be different and dominate. So again, if you have something interesting to talk about, if you have a perspective on things that people don't know, or it's refreshing. I think one of my students has a pretty cool podcast right now, and fairly successful for a 9th grader. Like, he's doing pretty cool, dope things. And so you can make money off of podcasts eventually. You know, it's not like oh my God, I just made this podcast, I'm making money. But if you have something to say and you have the means and the outlet, and you can, again, use your phone to speak into, if that's the beginning part, the beginning things that you have, and create a podcast and make that side hustle money as a teenager that I didn't make. Get your coin. All right. There is no reason that 13 through 19-year-olds should not be able to make money. All right. And that is it. Thanks for watching. Next week, I'll be back with a millennial friendly video, but this week was for my Gen Zers, and I hope it was helpful. Bye.